Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Cassie.
Hi, creepy people.
Hello.
If you're new to our creepy corner of the world, this is PNW Haunts and Homicides, where we chat about true crime, the paranormal, and all things spooky, creepy, witchy in the Pacific Northwest.
And we also do a tarot reading at the end of every episode for a little bit of deeper insight into our topic.
We do have some special guests today with us. We have Aurora and Fanni, who are founders of the Bad Witches Productions, a femme-led indie production company that focuses on supporting women and their stories, which is very important. Fanni is directing their latest project, a horror short called Vessel, based on something that Aurora actually experienced. So can we just start right off? Because I need to know, what happened and why did you decide to make a movie out of it?
Sure. So I experienced some ghost activity. And this was during a time that was a little tumultuous for me, which I now understand is probably how this happens for a lot of people. Because the more your life is in chaos, the more you are to track kind of some weird energy.
It invites that.
Right. So just, keep it light, everyone, if you don't want this to happen to you. Keep it chill, keep it fun, keep it happy.
In this economy?
Yeah.
Right? We all have a ghost in this economy.
Right.
Oh, my God. But yeah, so at the time, it was during the film strikes. And so it was this thing where my husband and I, who both work in film, thought that maybe it was going to last a couple months with the writer strikes. And of course, we're kind of not really out of it. Technically, we're out of the strikes, but studios still aren't doing shows and stuff. But we were kind of thrown in the situation where we had just finished working on a show in Vancouver, Percy Jackson. And we were going to take a little break until we found our next show, go stay with my parents in Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from, and just kind of spend some time with them. My mom allegedly was going through some health issues. It's hard to know with her, whatever is going on. She's a little bit of an unhinged person.
Moms, am I right?
Right. So we go to stay with her, and 3 days into what we assumed would be a couple weeks, my mom and I have this big blow-up fight, which is pretty standard in our family. Oh. My mom has a lot of mental health stuff. Honestly, me too. And so we had this clash right out of the gate. And so my husband and I decided to just kind of hang out in Columbus for a bit, see if my mom decided to pull it together and spend some time with my sister and her kids. And one of my sister's kids, who's in their 20s, they are, their name's Clay, and they're also into very spooky stuff like I am. Ooh. Honestly, it's Clay is my child. There's so many similarities.
Love that.
Yeah. And so we were trying to think of things to do, and we decided to make a list of the most haunted places in Columbus, Ohio. And we were going to make we put them on a map, and we were going to go around to each one and just kind of talk to people if they had ever seen or experienced anything, and just kind of see what's really going on with the ghost scene in Columbus, Ohio.
Heck yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it started off great.
Yeah.
You're do I love that? Is this a good idea?
No, it's great. Organize a list and a map of all the places that I need to stay far away from.
Well, we went right into it, and we started off with the Kelton House, which is this really old house in Victorian Village in Columbus. And this old family has owned it for hundreds of years. The great-great-grandfather was very involved in Columbus politics. He even carried Lincoln's casket in his funeral, which was a big honor to be a pallbearer in a president's funeral. So they're this very wealthy, connected family, and they're attributed for helping establish Columbus. Wow. And so this house is still there. It was part of the Underground Railroad. There's all this cool history to it. And part of that history is definitely a ghost history. Each October they do a ghost tour. When I was there, it was in April, so there were no ghost tours going on. So we decided just to go on a regular historical tour. They kind of show you around the house and talk about the Kelton family and, all these cool happenings there. So while we're there, we're asking the host of the tour if she's ever experienced anything ghostly.
Of course. You have to
Like
make
one
it
would
into
on
a
a tour.
ghost tour. Yeah.
Right? Like, this
If
isn't
we
a
don't
ghost tour, it's
ask.
about to be.
Yeah.
So she's kind of not in the mood to talk about it. And she mentions like a couple things to us about how there are like a number of people who have died in this house. Of course, like families, like during that time would stay at home when they're about to pass away. So there's people like dying of like natural causes. There was a little girl who fell out of the second story window and broke her neck and died. There's like a soldier that like came there to visit the family and had been like wounded. He died there. And there's like all these stories along with that and the Underground Railroad stuff. So allegedly this place is quite haunted. And when I asked if this lady had experienced anything specific, she said occasionally lights would flicker and she would smell cigarette smoke. And whenever she would smell that, she knew it was Grace, their like big resident ghost.
Huh. Oh.
Yeah. So Grace was like the last person to own the Kelton house. She was the daughter of this like lineage of family, and she didn't have any siblings or children. So she was the last person to own it. And when she passed away in the 70s, she left the house to a historical organization to preserve all this like cool stuff about it. And so she's known to kind of like hang out there. And after the tour, my nibbling and I, and nibbling's the term for non-binary niece nephew, yeah. So we're looking around, and it was such a cute word.
I
like
love
nibbling.
that.
It is. It's the best.
It's adorable, and Clay is also adorable. So I love that it's like such a cute word to describe such a cute person.
It's perfect.
Yes. So we're looking around and we're looking in this china cabinet. I have my phone out. I'm making content for my true crime account, my TikTok and stuff. We do like true ghost haunted stories like sometimes. So I'm like trying to get video of the house, whatever for that. I'm like videoing inside this cabinet and all of a sudden the door slams closed. And we're just like, it's an old house. Who knows? We both look at each other and we're like, Grace, jokingly, like Grace doesn't want us looking at her dishes. So we don't think much of it. You know, like it could have been the house is off, you know, or whatever. Who knows?
I mean, it's still settling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Hundreds of years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like the first little like mini thing. And then we go out to the car and it's April in Columbus. So it had been like really nice and sunny, a beautiful spring day, but now the weather has shifted. It's cold and rainy. So we go out to my Jeep and I'm like pushing the button to turn on the heat, and like pushing it up, 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 and nothing's happening. And like 5 seconds later, it just like shoots up like 20 degrees. And it's a new Jeep. I've never experienced any like weird electrical things in it. And again, my nibbling and I are like, think it's silly. And we're like, Grace. She's following us around, that Grace.
Oh, so she's like, yeah, they want me here. They're talking to me.
Right? They're like calling me.
Yeah. They're like obsessed with me.
Right? So then like over the next week, stranger things start happening. And the first of the like events that I start to pick up on for real is that I'm not sleeping well. And part of that is because when I try to fall asleep, there's like this orange light in my subconscious. And I've never experienced that before. It's like normally when you go to sleep, it's lights out, everything's black. And the color
Right.
of sleep to me, if I had to think of a color, which I'd never thought of before this, I'd be like, sleep is black. Like sleep is
Yeah.
nothingness. Like, it's great. But like I can't fall asleep because it's like there's like this light on inside of my mind. And I'm sleeping in this dark room with, I always have like a face mask on. Like I am like such a
Right.
bedtime princess. I have like my like sleepy meds I take, like my sleepy time tea, this, like
Yeah.
I have like my moisturizer on, my lip gloss, like my face mask. Like I love to sleep.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sleeping. My sleep's orange. It's creepy. And then my dog starts growling at me.
Oh no.
Well,
No,
it's-
thank you.
Yeah. And like at first I was like, oh, maybe he ate something weird and needs to go for a walk. Like it's still a little weird that he's growling at me, but you know, if you got to go, you gotta go. So like, I did a reaction to wake me up. It's fine. So like, I take him for a walk, and he's just kind of like, you know, sniffing around. He pees once or twice. He's doing normal dog stuff. Clearly, he doesn't have to go to the bathroom, and that's not why he had woken up. So we go back inside, and then he's kind of restless, and he's trying to get like comfortable by me. But when I woke up again, like a couple hours later, he's sleeping in the closet. Like, he wouldn't sleep next to me. And from like that night on, he wouldn't sleep next to me. He started sleeping in the closet.
Oh no,
That is
Which
so
is like
sad.
such an act of betrayal. Are you leaving me to deal with this ghost alone?
that
he
would
would
be
leave you
such a red
anytime.
flag for me.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in the closet and he was protecting you from it.
Oh,
Well, let's explore that. Because I don't think that's what it was.
Dang it.
But
He would run away first.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's kind of like a fussy dog. He's a Pomeranian, but like, he always sleeps right next to me in bed. He like pretty much sleeps on my pillow. Like, I sleep in my side, and he sleeps in the little like nook right next to me. Like, he's not necessarily cuddly, but he likes to at least steal my warmth.
yes. I want to be near you. I want to know that you're not leaving me and going and having
Right.
secret snacks without me.
Right? Oh, I love secret snacks.
It's the best.
Everyone loves secret snacks.
So, you know, like at this point, like I can tell something's weird, but I'm also going through this trauma. Like, the fight with my mom was exponential, and I'm going through a hard time. I'm not working. A lot of film people like are worried about losing houses and stuff. Like, it's gone on so long. So like, I'm in a state of stress. So I'm like, maybe it's just because of that. Like, the next big thing that happened was I went to get my nails done, and I went to a place that does gel manicures. So I put my hand in under the lamp to cure it. And every time I put my hand in, the light turns off. And so my nail tech's like, that's weird, and gets out a different lamp. Same thing. I put my hand in, the light goes off.
That is
So the nail
really
tech,
weird.
like, yeah. It's like the nail tech, right? Next to us gets involved. She's like, maybe it's an electrical thing, whatever. She uses the lamp. Like, she puts her hand in there. She uses it for a client. Works just fine. Same outlet, just like the person right next to us. Lamp is working. So at this point, I kind of like jokingly, but half serious, like, God, what's going on? I'm like, I think I'm being haunted. And my nail lady, without missing a beat, says, no, I think you are. And so turns out I've been going to her for a while, and like, she's a bit clairvoyant, and she's like, no, like, your energy is like so off today, and I've never seen your like aura as a different color. Like, just everything about you
orange?
seems different. Right? I'm like, mine's usually purple.
Oh no.
So like, we're talking about it and about like what had happened, and she's like, well, you know, like, when I was a kid, my dad actually had a spirit attach itself to him, and he had been going through a hard time, and he had lost his job and had been like in a situation where like he was exposed to like a spirit, and it's like everything started to fall apart for him. And her mom, who's also clairvoyant, ended up like calling a friend who was a medium. They took a picture of him, and in the picture you could see these 3 orbs that all had a like man's face on it. And like some of these anomalies can be explained, like if you're in the ghost world, like sometimes it's like a reflection of you or this or whatever. But like, this man very clearly had a mustache and looks like old timey, and was like nobody that was anywhere in this room with them. So like, they're like, no, that's like a spirit that has attached itself to you. And so she had like explained to me that if you are going through a hard time, like I had described earlier, and like if you're feeling sad, depressed, if you're using substances, like there's like different things you do that can kind of like lower like your like vibration. And then ghosts, like right before they died, likely were in a similar state where they might have been depressed or sad or scared or whatever. And that like energy attracts like energy. So if you're going through a hard time, you're more likely to have a spirit interested in you and to kind of feel comfortable in that space that feels familiar to them.
It makes so much sense, but like, way to pile on.
Right?
Like, talk about timing. Like, can I maybe catch a break?
That's how I was feeling. And also, like, at this time, you know, I'm paying to go get my nails done because I'm a Taurus and I have to like keep like some like semblance of normalcy up, but like I'm worried financially, like I don't know what's happening. Like I've not had a rift like this with my family in such a way, and I'm feeling very rejected by like the person who's supposed to love you unconditionally. And it's like, and now I have a ghost.
Great.
And my nails are sticky.
But my nails look good. Yeah. We did eventually cure them, but she had to hold the light on the entire time. It was so crazy.
That is so
That's
awesome.
really crazy.
Okay, well, I mean, you got that going for you. At least got
Yes.
the fresh set.
Right?
Jeez.
But so like after this, I was like, okay, like how do I get rid of this? Like I honestly have always been sort of interested in supernatural stuff, but not really sure if I believed it necessarily. Like it's not that I doubted people's experiences. I just don't really know how I feel about the afterlife and like all these things. Like I had just never given it a ton of thought. And so I was like, okay, I am not equipped to deal with this. And it's like so uncomfortable, like knowing that something's kind of feeding on your energy when you have so little of it to give anyways.
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, I need a psychic. I need a medium. I don't know what to do. And I had gotten on TikTok to kind of like learn about like the process of what you can do about asking the spirit to leave and that kind of thing. And I ended up going to a psychic that I met at a party, and that's kind of where we leave off with our story and pick up in our movie Vessel, like what happened next, because involving the psychic kind of escalated the situation and things got a little crazier.
I feel like that's how it goes a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's like they sense you're trying to get rid of me.
Right?
Oh no.
I will be holding on. Yeah. So that's where Vessel comes in. That's where we're going to pick up our story. So like during the movie, we'll of course explain some about the haunting, but our girl goes to work with a medium to try to get rid of this, and things get a little wild.
A little crazy.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't wait to like. I need to know the rest of the story. Like,
Right?
I'm dying.
You will only know if you watch it.
So you mentioned when you were describing the movie to me that it's kind of a metaphor for women not having agency over their own bodies and not being believed about their experiences. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. So, you know, like during the time that I was going through this, people were definitely looking at me like I was a crazy person. And I get it. Like, this is all like a little weird. And, you know, it's like, is it in my head? Is this depression? Is it this? But like the way that people were approaching it like made me feel very broken, and it made me feel kind of like how it does when I go to the doctor and I'm having cramps and they're like, have you taken an ibuprofen? Or I also like volunteered, right? And it's like
Thank
women
God you're
are so
here to
often
remind me that it exists.
right.
I mean,
Take a Midol and sit down.
oh,
Right.
for Christ's sake. Come on.
That attitude for everything with women.
Yes.
And I think it's something that like all women can relate to, like going to the doctor for something and being blown off and going home and having to figure out what's going on your own, or never getting there.
Yeah.
And, you know, also with like sexual assault, it's the same thing. And I used to volunteer at a domestic violence shelter in Austin, Texas, that also did rape crisis. So we would meet people who had been assaulted in the hospital and basically advocate for them, because police departments, when they send somebody in to interview somebody who's been raped, start with, have you been drinking? Like it's
Awesome.
Does that make it not rape
right?
then?
And it's like
if
women are
anything, that
allowed to
should
drink.
Clarify that there wasn't consent.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Well,
if there's alcohol involved.
It's really bad. And so, you know, when we decided to take on telling this story, I was like, I don't really want to tell it like a traditional ghost story. Like, this is kind of how I felt, like very dismissed, like I didn't have agency over myself and like I wasn't being believed about it. Which was like part of like the horror of the situation going through it. It's like, how do you deal with this if nobody believes you? Like, do I just have to
Absolutely.
live in this
Right.
forever?
Right. That makes it really hard to feel like you can even begin to access resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm particularly always interested in how horror films bring to life like these really scary moments that maybe when it's happening, it's like how do you bring this to a screen and make it so other people are like seeing what you're seeing and experiencing it how you are? I imagine that can be like really, really difficult to do. Is there any moments in this horror story that you're kind of that could be challenging to bring to life, or that you're worried about trying to bring to life, or that you're excited about showing everybody?
I don't think it's gonna be challenging because we have pretty much everything planned, like all the scares and everything. And if it's well planned, it's easy to bring it to life actually. If like the shots are well planned and how to, and of course, thank goodness we have an Emmy award-winning visual effect supervisor. So
that helps.
Yeah. Actually, Aurora's husband. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have it planned.
Amazing.
I won't spoiler it how and when. You guys have to watch it to find out.
Of course.
But we have it all planned.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we have a really good jump scare, but it is just planning. And like it's writing a script that's done in a very visual way so you can see it. It's having good actors that can like really channel that emotion. And we have not cast our lead actress yet. We're still looking.
Oh, okay.
But we have cast the there's two leads, the other guy. And oh my God, he's so good.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I worked with him on the show 1923, which is the Yellowstone spinoff with Harrison Ford. And it's not Harrison Ford.
Darn it.
That would be amazing. But he plays Luca. If anybody's seen 1923, he plays Luca. He was fantastic to work with on set. Like, he's a great actor. And I immediately thought of him for this role. Like, he has this great charisma and stuff that we really want from him. And we did a reading with him just to, like, we assumed that he would be good because like I've seen him work, but we still wanted to do a reading with him and see if he got the vision for the part. And he had read the script and then told us like how he like saw it, like what he perceived from it, and what he perceived from the character. He'd really gotten into this mindset. And then like his audition, I was like screaming internally because you have this idea of like how you want an actor to perform it. And I was also like there for like the real thing. Like I know how this actually played out, like who the characters actually are. But then like he brought something I didn't expect to it that like went beyond my expectations. And like I had chills.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and also from a director's perspective, that when you see someone performing, sometimes you want them to bring out different emotions or say this in a different way, or, and then he was like perfect for the role. I could not give him any notes because he really understood the character. But
no
notes. It's like he changed the emotions. He changed the emotions when he had to. He was just like really understood the character, and he was the perfect fit. So,
yeah.
That's amazing. Do you think it's going to be harder to find the person who's supposed to play you, Aurora?
It is proving to be more difficult. Yes.
I can imagine that. It's like, you're like, it's me.
Yeah, and like I don't like necessarily need her to be me. I just need her to like exhibit this emotion of like what it feels like.
Sure.
And also like part of it is just that there's like all these rules with film stuff. So if you have one actor who's union, who's with SAG, the other one has to be. And because Andy is SAG now, we have to find a SAG actress, which is just a little harder. We're an indie budget. So finding somebody of that caliber, there's a lot of people out of work right now. Unfortunately, like it really sucks for filmmakers. It's a really sad time for anybody in the film industry. But it's just a little more challenging to find. I mean, there's great quality actresses, of course, that are like in SAG, but it's making it a little harder for us.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough bar because you have that challenge, and then you're really looking for someone who, like you said, is going to match the emotion and everything that
Yes.
you're looking for. It's
And they have to be a good fit for Andy, like their counterpart.
Yes.
Like they
Yeah,
have to
their
like have good
chemistry.
chemistry and work well together. So we're gonna find her. She's gonna be absolutely perfect. I know it, but we're not quite
Definitely.
there yet.
Yeah. So let's talk about the ways people can maybe help you guys get this movie created. So you have an Indiegogo fund for the film. Can you tell us a little bit about that and like how direct people to help?
Sure. So, we are, it's a bit pricey to make films, of course. And this, because like the way shorts work, it's really hard for us to go to this kind of standard channels for funding because there's never a return on investment. And this kind of enables us, like with Bad Witches, we want to eventually make feature films. Fanni and I have a long history of making movies. We've both been on big studio stuff. Fanni's worked on Dune 2, Dune the TV shows, Moon Knight. Like we both worked on some pretty big productions. But this is our first time making something like completely from scratch, from like writing it to producing it to directing it to everything. And Fanni's an assistant director and a very talented one. But so, it's a process, and in order to prove that like we have the ability to do that before somebody will give us like $1 million to make a feature movie, we have to basically have something showing we can do it, that we can do it well, that we can tell a story well, that we can make something beautiful and stunning and engaging and meaningful, which I think we really will pull off with Vessel. But we do need help crowdfunding it. And, basically, if you all want to find out what happens next, you're going to have to donate to the campaign.
gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah,
Right.
and basically it's not just donations, because we are offering amazing perks like tickets to the premiere or set visits or a PA internship, which is not about just bringing coffee, but it's about like shadowing like industry professionals. So we have some amazing perks.
Yeah, and our VFX supervisor, like we mentioned, will be there. He's actually the VFX supervisor from Titanic.
Oh, what?
He sang in the
Titanic?
boat. Yeah.
That is such a theme. We literally bring up Titanic on accident in like every episode.
Here's our chance. Okay, I actually have a cute story about this, y'all. So he was working as an artist at the time, and he did the breath for Jack and Rose on the door, like when Rose was on the door and Jack was in the water.
The famous
And
door.
The famous
The most
door.
famous
And also
scene.
the most famous scene, and also the breath work is still used. Like they still like mimic like his work that he did on other shows, including 1923 that I was just on. The director's like, I want the breath to look like Titanic, and we're like,
my
well,
God.
great, because we have the guy who did it on the show.
Amazing.
But also, like in that scene, he's doing this work and he hasn't read the script, and he's adding their breath, and like he has like the notes, and he's like in this like clip, he's adding it for Rose, he's adding it for Jack, he's adding it for Rose, he's adding it for Jack. Then he gets to a clip where it's only Rose, and he's like, wait, y'all missed Jack's breath, and he's like, oh, Jack's dead. Oh, and that's how I found out that Jack dies.
Oh my god! Spoiler alert! In case
Oh
you
my
didn't know.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
But yeah, for getting this funded, just to kind of talk about like what that means to, the reason why we had started Bad Witches is because there's nothing being made right now, and studios have kind of run the show for a long time. We had this like great time for indie film in the 90s, and a lot of like those independent film houses got bought up by studios. And now like all those brilliant minds aren't getting to work because studios, I don't know what they're doing right now. I think they're kind of waiting until people are so desperate for work that they'll work without being part of a union, or like who knows
Yeah.
what's
I mean,
happening. But
A strong strategy from their perspective, I'm sure, but
right. But really bad for
Not
all
great
these
for
people who have been working artists their entire lives, that are losing their homes, that can't feed their children, that are living in their cars, and just really sad situation. And we want to create something where we actually like make a film studio. We hire the same teams again and again and again. Everybody has insurance. We equalize pay for people, so producers aren't making like $100 million and then, you know, PAs are making
Underpaying
$100 a day. Like we want everybody to be sort of like equalized in wages. We want to tell femme stories. We want to tell queer stories. We want to tell stories that haven't been told before. And in order to do this, like we have to start somewhere. We have to pay our crew for this. And we really want to help some people that have been out of work, give them a little glimmer of hope, contribute to something that we all believe in, and pay them and get them meals for a few days at least.
Yeah. So everyone go support if you can in any way you can. I think that would be such a cool perk too for someone who's just like not just interested in like the film business, but like wants to get like started in the film business to do the shadowing perk. That would be so cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And like our DP worked with Lady Gaga. She's really impressive. So like we have some really cool people on set to learn from.
Yeah, so get on it, everybody. Please go donate because I just need to see this happen.
Yes.
So what inspired both of you to start working in film?
I started working in film 5 years ago. I was always in love with movies, like starting from a young age. I was always spend my free time watching movies. So first, honestly, I wanted to be an actress, but soon I realized I born to the wrong country for that, which is Hungary. And then I was like, what should I do which is behind the camera but would be a good fit for me? And then I found out about the assistant director position because it's like leading people and organizing things, making schedules. And so then I went to a 2 years assistant director course, and that's how I got into film. Basically I got to know people. And then my first movie I was working on was Borderlands. I don't know if you guys seen it. Yeah, so that was my first movie, and then it just kept coming.
Oh, that's so cool. I feel like
I was stuck in the industry.
It
sucked me in.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It attached itself to you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But honestly, I love it so much. I cannot imagine doing anything else. So this is basically why we decided to start our own company, to tell stories.
That's so
It's
awesome.
really like an addicting thing to do. Like it's like
It really
the
is.
hardest job I've ever had. Like you really are working 12, sometimes 14-hour
Yes.
days. Sometimes you're like starting at like 6 p.m. and working until 6 a.m. And like it's brutal, but there's nothing like the feeling of so many people that are creative coming together to like make something in like this tedious process, but then people watch it and love it and react to it and like feel something about it. Like it's so beautiful, and you can't get out of it if you try.
Yeah. And it's really exhausting. And honestly, I've heard this from so many people. They were like, oh, this is going to be my last show. I'm not working in film anymore. I don't want to. I want to leave this industry. And then we met on the next project.
Yes.
I was like, oh, you're here. So you did not leave the industry.
Funny seeing you here.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds like, from a scheduling aspect alone, you would just have to be so passionate about that as your career, because that's a really tough thing to have, like work-life balance. And,
Absolutely.
My
You
gosh.
don't really have private life next to film, honestly, because you're basically just go to work, exhaust yourself all day, and then you go home and straight fall into bed.
Right.
Well, and then you guys create, your own company where you're doing it all yourself. So that just like adds to it. It's not like you're just going to work and then you get to come home and like be off. I imagine you're probably like always working.
Day and night, honestly.
As soon as I wake up at 6 a.m. until when I go to bed, whenever it is.
Yeah, it's like sometimes there's an idea coming up, and then I text to Aurora at 1 a.m. my time. I'm like, Aurora, I have an idea. I know it's 1 a.m., but I have to tell you now.
Well, otherwise you lose it forever.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my brain works the best at night, so... It is what it is.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I can relate to that.
Thank goodness she's a morning person,
Yeah.
so the time difference is not a
'cause
problem.
we have like a 9-hour time difference or something.
Yeah.
And it's great because I like wake up so early, and then I can like start texting Fanny when it's her daytime, and she's still up late when she goes to bed around the same time I go to bed.
Well, it's perfect.
That's true, actually.
So you guys can never live in the same time zone, or it'll just not work.
I don't know how we'll do it.
Yeah.
I will still text you at 1 a.m. You will see it in the morning.
Right.
I also feel like too, when you text someone your idea right away, instead of like writing it down and maybe waiting until later, you could like read it later and be like, oh, well, this idea kind of sucks. I'm not ever gonna tell her. But if you send it right away, then you don't have that chance to like second guess yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You've overthought it.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like you almost always explain things better when it's like fresh and in the moment and you're feeling like excited and passionate about, the idea that you just came up with. Where, like you said, if you sit on it, then sometimes it's like, I'm forgetting details about it, or
My
things
memory's
that
trash.
really make it what it was.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Do you guys have any advice for women wanting to get started in film?
do it.
Do it.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a challenge, but do it. Because the more women start to work in this industry, the more success women will have in the industry. So,
It's still so hard, and there's still so few women on film sets. Like the average crew is like maybe like a few hundred people. Ours is obviously going to be much smaller for this short, but like the percentage of women is certainly nowhere near 50%. And also, like, you might see a lot of women who are like PAs and such, more people like coming through the system, but then like the number of women who are HODs and such is just non-existent. And I had gone on a scout for 1923 when we were moving from Austin to Montana. And I went on the scout as a lower position, like as a coordinator, which I normally wouldn't have been invited on, but we had some like weird things going on because it was supposed to snow for all of this show. It takes place in Montana in a blizzard, and they decided to film it in October. And I'd been to Yellowstone in October years ago, and I was like, the weather was like beautiful. I don't feel like it was anywhere near snowing then. We'll see how this is going to go. And it was like my department, and like it was kind of my role to make sure that the snow happened, because we were going to add that all in visual effects, which was not the original plan. And we had this like $8 million snow budget. Like it was just crazy.
Oh my God.
So they decided that like I should be there for that, because we had to make sure all the sets were scanned so we could add snow to them. And also we had 2 VFX supervisors, and one of them couldn't go. So they were like, okay, Aurora, just go. And I hadn't like given it any thought. I had never been invited on a scout because I'm not high enough up like on a big studio project. And I'm looking around, and there's like 50 men and 3 or 4 women on this scout, like for HODs. And like the women that were there, a lot of them were like assistant to the HOD. They weren't even like the HODs. And it was just shocking. But you look at that snippet, but then like the next snippet is like BIPOC people. And let me tell you how white a film crew is. So like we need more diversity like in this space. Like we need to hear people's stories that aren't like older white men, and like we need more voices in this space.
Seriously, have we not heard enough?
Like movies for the
years.
beginning of time have been told from like a white male cis straight perspective, and let's do something else.
yeah, it's like when I told someone that I will direct this movie, the first reaction was, wait, aren't directors usually men?
What?
I was like,
Unfortunately, it's
you
true.
stop right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Kate
it's true.
Blanchett- Yeah, Kate Blanchett just posted this like video at Cannes Film Festival, and I'm going to mix up this number. I keep forgetting to look up the accurate number, but she said that like in the history of the festival, I think it was like 1,800 men that were directors have been on the steps, and only 80 women directors compared to
Oh my
1,800
gosh.
men.
Wow.
Yep.
I don't love the stats.
Yeah.
I'm
Nope.
not gonna
No.
lie. That's feels like it should be at least a little closer to, you know.
At least to 50.
I could
Yeah.
I could begin to accept, you know, maybe a 60-40. We're working on it. But that's it's a long ways off.
A long ways. A very
Right.
long ways.
Yeah.
1% or something.
Okay, ladies, let's flood the
insane.
film industry. Let's go.
That's the plan.
Storm it.
Take over.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Get in there.
Yeah, and if you're a filmmaker and you're like, hey, I want to join a group of ragtag women filmmakers, and I want to go out to like LA, or I'm like, we're going to film in Joshua Tree, like near where I am right now, and you want to be a part of this, let us know. We would love to mentor you if you're new, if you've been in it for a while and you have something you'd like to contribute. We are trying to get everybody paid. It may not be the best rate you've ever gotten from a studio, but we're trying to get everybody paid, and it's something we take very seriously, and we'd love to hear your ideas.
Yes, please contact them. Get in there. I'm so excited. I just want to I can't wait to see what all comes from this. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So we kind of did talk about some of the other films that you worked on. Had either of you ever worked on a horror film before?
I haven't.
I worked on House of Spoils. It's a Prime Video movie, but it wasn't really scary in my opinion.
It's horror, though.
I'll be the judge of
It's
that.
horror. It's,
Caitlin's like, I was terrified.
okay, I won't say any spoilers, but it's not like it's not a movie with jump scares and stuff.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's genre, it's horror, but it's not like the bloody jump scares and slashing people kind of horror. You have to watch it, and you will find out.
So this is kind of new for both of you.
Yeah, you know, and like a lot of it is done like similarly, you know, like there were some really lovely scenes on 1923 comes to mind, just 'cause I just got off the show, where the director wanted to approach the way that they were shot as a horror movie, like where he's building suspense. Like there's a scene where Helen Mirren's character is attacked by is confronting a mountain lion. I think that's the mountain lion scene. There was a mountain lion and a wolf, and like the wolf, it was the wolf. The wolf like has killed a nurse, and it's all like blood and guts like in her living room, and it's like we have a lot of like bloody stuff, and he wanted to like sneak up on that scene and like approach it like you would a horror movie discovery, like a jump scare. And so like that was like done in that way. Like we had this great special effects makeup shot where they're drilling into somebody's skull because they were having, gosh, I forget what the name of that is, where they had like blood, like essentially like sitting on their brain. Is it not like a hematoma or something? I forget. But the issue, like the way, and I don't know how they deal with it now, like I'm certainly not a doctor, but like the way they would deal with it then was like they would literally drill into the person's skull to release that pressure. And so like we had to have, like we had like the special effects head that was made to look like the actor, and they were drilling into this like bloody like thing with blood squirting everywhere and like whatever. And I didn't need to be on set then. Like it was, I'm a coordinator, so like a lot of my time is spent in a trailer. Like I'm like a budget vendor, whatever. I'm organizing things. I don't always have to be on set. But like I was texting my VFX team and I was like, if I miss the bloody head scene, I will kill you. I have to
I will
be on
never
set.
forgive you.
Blood squirting.
Are you guys excited to work on just like a straight horror film? And do you want to keep doing horror films in the future?
I think it's probably a good direction for us. We are not limiting ourselves to horror. There's a few reasons to do horror. For one thing, like it's actually pretty inexpensive to do a horror movie for a few reasons. Like a lot of the themes are done in like film world, what's called like a monster in a house, like classic storytelling style, where you're filming at one location, maybe it's in a house, like a Halloween kind of thing or whatever. You're limiting your locations and the number of actors. It's also really easy to pull things off with practical effects, which will always be much cheaper than visual effects. And we'll be doing all of our effects practically while having VFX there to make sure we don't mess it up, so we have to go into VFX.
Perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah.
But also, like, I think that horror is such an important genre for women and unrepresented voices in general, because it's a way for us to speak about things that have happened to us in our experiences in a metaphorical sense, like what we're doing with Vessel. And so I think it's easy to like kind of get into like a gentle political mindset too, which we're already working on our first feature length script, which is going to kind of address like the housing economy, how like it's so hard to get housing these days because of short-term rentals and just like wealthy coming in and like buying up space, like in a town where I live, like in Joshua Tree, where like you literally can't find houses because they're all
on
vacation
Airbnb.
Rentals. Yeah. And so like it's going to be like a movie kind of making a statement about that, and it'll be like a fun kind of like not quite slashery, a little bit, but we're gonna have some like Scream style stunts and stuff in it. So I think it'll be a fun one. Yeah.
And there's a meaning behind, because what's important for us to have a meaning always in every movie. Every movie we make, like either a political statement or some kind of meaning behind.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because what else? What else is it for if you can't like?
That's
right.
so true.
Tell people your thoughts and feelings, and
yeah exactly.
Yeah. Do you have any other projects that you're currently working on, either of you? I know Aurora has a podcast.
Murdered and Missing News, or MMN True Crime, is like what we are on social media. But yeah, we're on a little bit of a break from that. You all probably know, being in the true crime space, that sometimes that gets a little overwhelming and exhausting, making sure you're representing these stories in a sensitive way that is benefiting families. And we specifically were doing advocacy, where we would have families of missing and murdered people come on the show to talk about it, to try to bring light to their cases. And that can be a little wearing on the soul. So Angelina, my co-host, and I are taking a break from that. And in the meantime, I did have like a spooky stories, ghost stories podcast too, called Burnt Marshmallows Cozy Mysteries. And
Love that.
yeah, there's some fun ghost stories and stuff. If you all like that kind of thing, definitely go check that out. But at the moment, this is the only thing I am working on while I kind of wait for my next studio show to come through.
Anything else you're working on, Fanny?
Unfortunately, at the moment, no. I just finished working on FBI International a month ago. So now I'm currently on a break. But
A break?
You're
working your butt off.
Yeah, I'm working my butt off, but a break from studio project, let's say that. But now finally I have time to work on our project like full time. So that's the good perspective. But I would be very happy to start working on another project very soon. But we'll see. Hopefully something will come up for the summer. But if everything goes well, I will move to the US this fall. So I cannot say yes for bigger projects. But during the summer, I can still do some movies.
That's awesome. So
That's a big, exciting change.
Yeah. Have you lived here before? Or is this the first time?
No, it's my long-time dream to move to New York, actually. So I'm currently on my visa process. So fingers crossed.
Awesome. Yes, fingers crossed for you.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Okay, I wanted to know if you had any current, like, recent movie suggestions for people to watch, or if you have like a classic like horror film that you think everyone should have seen by now.
Substance.
Yes,
I always say Substance.
Yes.
If anyone asks, my first answer is Substance.
Agreed.
So good.
It's so good.
It's really good. The two that like I think Substance, like I definitely loved, and it's probably one of the most memorable horror movies I've seen like in the recent years. But I also really love Strange Darling. Have y'all seen that?
Oh.
No,
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's so good. It's kind of like a serial killer kind of thing, where like a girl's traveling with a guy that we're like presuming is a serial killer, and Kyle Gallner, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, is in it. And he was in like Veronica Mars. He was in Smile. He's like the cop that's trying to help Sosie Bacon. Yeah, and like he's briefly in the second one, Smile. I won't spoil it. But he's in that one for like a little bit.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
Yeah. So he's great. He's in it. But it's like such a great, like, it's got one of the best twists I've ever seen, ever done in a movie. It's so great. It's so smart. It's really like a beautifully done movie. So I really like that one. And then we were just chatting with Cass and Ashley from Drinking the Kool-Aid podcast. We just did a chat with them the other day. They're so wonderful. And Cass had recommended a movie to us, which was Significant Other.
Oh.
And it has, gosh, I don't know her name, but she's the girl from It Follows, the blonde girl. And she's like such a scream queen. Like she's in The Villain. She's in so many great movies. She's always so good. Like she deserves the Scream Queen title for sure. But I can't remember her name. I wish I knew it. But she's in it. And this other guy that I think he was like in The Office, and he's been in a few things, but he always plays like the guy that you like. He seems nice, but you know he's going to be like a bad guy eventually. Like he has this kind of like douchey quality. But it takes like some real unexpected twists and turns, and was not at all what I thought it was going to be. So that's like a nice one for like kind of like a sci-fi monster in the woods. Like they go on a camping, like a hiking trip, and like twist, 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 twist. Like who has the power now? Like it's really kind of mind-blowing.
Those are good because I haven't seen either of those that you suggested, so I'll have to put those on the list.
I don't think I have seen either of them either.
You haven't seen very many scary movies, but you did see Substance though, right? You did watch Substance.
Yeah. No, I bought it.
Good job.
Yeah, I was like renting.
And I would say like if you're like for people that are like kind of like horror adjacent, like maybe they don't like to fully immerse themselves in like a slasher movie, Strange Darling is really good for that, because I wouldn't like call it scary. It's just like really fun and unexpected, like very feminist. And I don't want to like say what it reminds me of, because then it would kind of give away the ending. But it reminds me of like this other great like feminist horror movie that I saw that I wish they had taken it in this direction a little more. But like it's really good.
Have you guys seen the movie Presence?
Yes.
No.
I just watched that and I was like, this movie is like pretty good. I was just like shocked.
It's
I have
good.
to add that to my list.
Yeah, I wasn't
good. It's a
expecting
ghost
it.
story.
Oh.
Yeah, and like from a filmmaking perspective, that was done with like the average movie I was reading has like hundreds to maybe thousands of like cuts. So like you cut and go to like the next scene.
Oh.
That one I think I read has 33. So it's some of the
Wow.
longest takes you've ever seen.
Whoa.
And it's kind of shot like a documentary where they're like following them around with a wide angle lens instead of like normally you would go like you would cut from like one actor's face to another and kind of like put them together if they're having a conversation. They were like moving the camera around them to like accommodate these few cuts. And it's really like
Interesting.
artistically done. It's very beautiful. I can't imagine trying to pull that off.
I thought it was so interesting. I'm sure they did it like digitally, but like they would show the camera like in a reflection, but you like couldn't see the camera obviously. I'm like, how did they do that?
Yeah. And for the way they were doing it, like there's certainly ways to accommodate those shots, but like the way that they were keeping the cuts long, they might have done some VFX removal like on the camera in the mirrors. Like I wasn't looking for that. I'll have to like go through and see like how they did that. But yeah.
They were like shooting they were
beautiful.
shooting through a window one time so you could like see out the window, but the light was on so you can like see the reflection of the house in the back. I just thought it was so cool. I was like, whoa, this is awesome.
It's good. Lucy Liu's in it.
Yes. It's kind of like a woman's story too. So
Very much so.
yeah. Do you guys have any ghost stories besides this? Like any spooky things ever happened to you besides like what the one you're working on in the film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell them all.
Okay, well, I will now. I hope you have time. I hope you have a beverage.
I said 4 hours.
I can probably tell 4 hours of ghost stories.
You can always come back on and tell more. Like, we'll always have you.
All right, I'm going to tell one that I have not told on a podcast before. Because, like, I have one that, like, kind of is my go-to. And I lived in a haunted house in Austin, Texas, like, years ago. And, like, there was always, like, weird things like cabinets banging. And, like, I kind of figured out that the spirit that was, like, in this space didn't like it when I would leave things untidy. Like, it started when I first moved in and, like, they didn't like the kitchen being a mess and like the cabinet doors would slam. And I had dreams about this ghost and my roommate did too, like the same kid. And like, there's all these weird things. But this was really weird. Like one night I woke up and I'm like, you know, fast asleep. I'm like laying in bed and I like wake up and like roll over on my back and I look up at my ceiling and there's like this woman that's like on fire, like above me. Like I can like see her face, like fire hair, and she's like red and then this like gown.
Supernatural?
Yes. Oh. Like clear as day I could see it. I wasn't dreaming. Like I was definitely awake and like I like it like went away, you know, like it wasn't like I got up and I could move around the room and still saw it. Like I looked up and I'm like seeing it and I'm like freaked out and I like go over to get like my like something off my nightstand, like my glasses or my phone. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And like then it's like gone. And I still don't know if that was like, I've never believed in like demons. Like I'm not like a religious person and I sort of thought maybe they were associated with some kind of religious thing. It's like a big thing in the Catholic Church and like I'm like an atheist or whatever. So I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But like if that wasn't a demon, I don't know what it was.
I was going to say, I think, are we believers now? Because that feels pretty on the nose.
It was so creepy, but I also had this feeling that she was protecting me. Like it didn't feel like a bad energy. Like it was like terrifying to see. Like I can like still see like what she looked like in her like red like gown and her like fire hair and it just looked like she was like a glow on my ceiling, just like suspended from my ceiling. But like I still felt like she was like not there to harm me.
Maybe an angel to protect you.
Yeah.
Fire angel.
Fire angel.
Free fire angel. I think she's doing a horrible job. No, I'm kidding, fire angel. I love you.
She's like, oh,
hurt me.
Now she's going to appear above you at night. Be aware.
No kidding. They do say that biblically accurate angels would be terrifying to behold.
I have heard that.
Maybe I'll have to believe in a religion.
I don't need that.
Right. I should like try to like figure out like if I could like draw it somehow and then like reverse Google image search it.
Yes.
Did you try to Google like fire woman on my ceiling and like see if anyone else had any stories about it? Or?
Well, now I'm going to.
Honestly.
Oh yeah, seriously. Yeah, seriously do it because maybe.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know. That seems like a really good scene for like a movie though too.
I should put that into one of ours. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, please. Fanny, have you had any spooky experiences?
I had once. Because, like, I think it was like 8 years ago or something. I was still together with my ex-boyfriend. And at that time, I was still living with my parents. And once we were sitting on the bed and, like, we both felt that someone is running towards us. Like, some kind of weird energy. And first I thought it was just me. But then we looked at each other and he was like, have you seen it as well? And I was like, oh my God, I thought it was just me. But no, he could sense it too. It was actually terrifying. And then I think another day we saw a shadow passing in front of the door. And then I texted my mom and was like, what are you doing down here? And she was like, what are you talking about? I'm in bed. I was like,
no.
Then who was that?
Nope. Burn the house
It was
down.
crazy.
Leave the country.
It was crazy, but that's it. Nothing else happened.
That's it.
At that one time. Yeah, but it was crazy.
Did you like tell it to go away or anything, or did it just?
No, it just went away. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe
it
it's
was
just passing through.
Yeah, maybe. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I could handle living in a haunted house. I don't think so. No.
I mean, maybe just because you didn't feed into it. I don't think you gave it what it might have been seeking.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah,
you know.
maybe.
Like if you don't get a reaction from something like that.
Right.
Or it was like passing through, like looking for, like you said earlier, like a lower vibration person, like someone who's like sad and
Her
depressed.
vibes
Maybe.
are too good.
Yeah. The vibes were too good.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
goodness
yeah,
you weren't depressed.
yeah, or something. But it was crazy enough. It was enough one time. I don't need more of these experiences.
Are you worried that like working on a horror film might bring up some more experiences for either of you?
Gosh.
I was not thinking about this, but thank you.
Sorry.
Now I will.
I was gonna say, there are some pretty
actually-
famous instances.
It is a good point. Like we're going to be filming at a medium's office. And like we were, like our first thought was that we would like rent out an office space and kind of furnish it to look how we envisioned it. But like the price of like bringing in furniture and like all this stuff, we're like, well, that seems kind of silly on a low budget thing. Like maybe we can just find a tarot shop that already kind of looks like what I had envisioned. And we found like this great space that's in Morongo Valley, which is near Joshua Tree, like where I live. And the owner of the shop is like so great. Like every story she tells, like she does like shadow work, like specifically. And like every time she tells me a story, it'll be something like, yeah, so like last night I decided to take a bunch of mushrooms. And like while I did, I got this phone call from a number that was like 866-666 something. And
Oh
she's
my
like,
God.
I didn't answer it. Like I knew it was like a scam call, but then like Satan appeared to me and he's like, I told you I was gonna like appear tonight. I tried calling you.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my goodness.
Like every story she tells me is like that. And I'm like,
Wow.
what kind of energy is just hanging around her shop? Because like
Right.
specifically like if people like she does tarot and she does lots of stuff, but if somebody feels like they've attracted a negative energy, that's like what she does. She does a lot of shadow work and like she's like, I have to be able to see like demons and scary things and not be afraid of them because I have to be able to confront them for someone else.
Wow.
Which is like horrifying to me. And like again, I never know how much I really like believe in that kind of stuff, but it's very different when it's happening to you. I now know.
Yeah.
But what is in her shop? Like there could be demons in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's good at like cleansing out the energy, and I'm sure she'll have tips for you guys to like
I
kind
hope
of
so.
protect
She's not going to be
yourself.
there.
No demons.
She's going to be.
Oh.
Yeah, she's actually we're filming there while she's at. Her husband's like a former Disney animator, and he makes like this really cool artwork, and these like big things called like infinity boxes, and they have like 1,000 mirrors inside of them, and you put your head in it and it looks like this alternate reality, and it's like very cute and fun.
Cool.
And he like travels all around the US with them. Like he takes them to San Francisco for art exhibits and here and there, and he's taking them to Burning Man for like a display. So like they'll be going to Burning Man with their infinity boxes, and we'll be filming during that time just because she doesn't have to close down the shop for us. Like she's
Right.
not,
That makes
she's
sense.
already
That
going to be
makes sense.
closed.
That works out so good.
Yeah. But she's not going to be there to chase out demons. So if we find ourselves in trouble,
Fingers crossed we won't.
Ask her-
I don't
ask
want
her
to
for
deal with
tips.
demons.
Oh my gosh, have you guys ever done any paranormal investigations?
sort of. I went on like I have friends who are like very into this, and I've been invited for time to time to do something. But actually, we were in Montana for Halloween on 1923, and one of the guys that was like an office coordinator, he is very into ghost hunting and has a YouTube channel, and like we trade stories. Like it was like great. Like he's a great guy, John. I wish I knew the name of his channel, but anyways, he organized something at this hospital that's no longer in use in Butte, Montana. And we actually shot like an exterior scene at this hospital that's in 1923. It's like where Alex goes to the hospital, like when she's rescued. And in like the interior is like known for being very haunted. It's been shut down for years, but it was like a regular hospital like in the early 1900s, because Butte, Montana is like super ancient from like silver mining and copper mining, mostly copper mining and whatever. And then it was a it wasn't a mental health hospital. It was like a bad one. Mental health makes it sound like it was cute. It was like a sanitarium kind of thing. And it's like quite haunted. And so he brought in all kinds of equipment, and I don't know much about it because I've never like gotten very into, I love the idea of it. I've just never invested time in doing it myself, but he brought all the equipment and all the devices that make noises and whatever. And while we were there, we were in this room that was like quite active when me and this other girl first like walked in, and then it like got very quiet and like there was no interaction. And one of the guys was like, oh, like maybe it just wants like the girls in here. Like, should we ask it if it wants the guys to leave? And so like they asked, and the device went crazy.
Don't ask it that.
Right?
And
so
Oh
like,
my God.
right? And then like the two guys, and like also like as soon as I walked into this room, I got a headache. Like just like this like heaviness. Like I got like an instant headache, and like it definitely
Bad
had
signs.
like a bad energy to it. And so then like the guy, John, that organized, it's like, oh, like, do you girls like want to be in here alone with the ghost? And I looked at him and I was like, if you leave me here, I will never talk to you again. Like I was
Fair
so
enough.
freaked out, and like just like this chill like ran up my spine, and I was like, if I'm left alone in here, it's not good. Like I knew it was like a bad like
Bridge
thing,
burn.
and I was so freaked out, right? But like that was our big experience of the night. Like that was the only thing I actually like saw or felt or experienced, was like the headache, and then the thing going crazy and me being like, I will kill anyone who tries to leave this room.
I wonder, like, what
Yeah.
if it was like creepy old man ghost who just wanted to be alone,
Right?
With you?
I don't like that.
Oh my God.
No.
Because I feel like if it was like a woman ghost who wanted the men to leave, like you wouldn't have had that bad feeling. Like you would have felt better about it.
Right.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's creepy. I'm glad he didn't
All right,
leave you
well.
alone.
Yeah.
Solved it. And I hate it.
Well, do you guys want to do some tarot?
Yes.
Let's do
Do
it.
you have any witchy tools of your own that you brought with you?
I didn't bring anything with me. I just got a new Oracle deck. I'm like very mediocre at tarot. Like I've been trying to do it for years. My deck is like a little sassy, and so sometimes I'm like,
We
I
love
love
just,
that.
right? But I'm like, I can't handle somebody being mean to me today, so no. Like they're
Oh,
like
well.
they're very bluntly honest, and like I have to say, like most things that my cards have like said that I thought were like sounded like mean or like rude have turned out to be true. So it's like, okay, I guess you were right, but you
Yeah.
didn't have to say it that
Oh my
mean.
God.
Tell it like it
Can we
is.
work on the delivery a little bit?
Right?
That's why I like the Oracle decks too, because they're
Yeah.
just a little more gentler. I feel like.
They're so gentle.
Yeah, I never did tarot before. I'm kind of afraid of it because what if it will say something bad? Then I will be thinking about it like all day, all night.
It's always something good, something you need to know that you probably already knew in the back of your mind that it's just bringing out. So
I don't want to know. No.
well, are you comfortable if we pulled a card
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And it could just be in general for like, the movie or anything we talked about, or if do you have any specific questions about?
I think we would love to know if we are going to pull this movie off.
Okay, well, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure. Thank you.
I think our biggest question is like, we have not met our Indiegogo goal yet, and we're really hoping to get there. So we'd like to know, because if we don't meet it, we're probably still going to make it, where I will play the psychic, Fanny will play me, and we will shoot it with an iPhone. We're still going to do it, but we'd like
We'll
to
be
do it
involved
well.
if you need help.
Yeah,
We'll
right,
help you.
right.
I'll spread these out. I don't think that we'll be able to really see them in camera view, but I have them spread out in front of me, kind of about the length of a keyboard. So you guys tell me kind of where to...
Okay, I would say just right of center.
Just right of center. Okay.
What do we get?
I cannot believe how frequently this card is coming up.
Oh, is it the
What is
death
it?
card?
It is.
That's
yeah.
actually amazing. That is like actually
Jamie, it
so
means
perfect
rebirth.
for this. Yes.
That's what you want.
What?
Yes.
It means what?
It means rebirth.
Yeah.
Oh, rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It says
like-
death, but
Ah.
it means like death of the olds, like to bring in the new.
That's good for us.
I was going to say.
Death of the white male, cis male led film industry.
Yes.
And rebirth.
Enough already.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That's like the
right.
first thing I thought when I saw that. And
Also, I pulled the death card once when I was flying home. I was in Saudi Arabia. Like this prince had flown us out because he wanted to start like a film studio there. And on the way home, I was having anxiety about flying, and I don't know why. Like I fly quite a bit, and I don't really care, but I was having anxiety about it, and I decided to like pull a card to see if it was going to be okay. And I pulled the death card, and I was like, "That is not the card you want to see before getting on a flight and asking if you're going to be okay."
no, that is scary.
No,
I would be
that's
scared
kind
of
of
that.
Oh my god. Yeah, absolutely.
But you were fine.
Spoiler alert: I didn't die.
I'm like, wait, you are.
Well, maybe you're a ghost.
Of
Maybe you're
Aurora.
a ghost now. Okay, so what does
That
the
would
card
explain
mean?
so much.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
How can we know
So-
its meaning?
So
We're gonna read you.
the only caveat is that we did draw it in the reverse, so it is going to have a little bit different interpretation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so your keywords for the death card are transformation, metamorphosis, an ending, sacrifice, loss, and rebirth. So, I think we all agree. We've already discussed. It's a positive thing in this context.
How
Actually,
about
yeah,
in
because
reverse?
Yeah.
I don't know
Is
about
that
reverse.
it in reverse?
We'll make it positive. We'll figure it out.
I do.
Now I'm freaking out.
what reverse? I have no idea what you're saying right now. Like, what reverse? How?
The card
has like a
card.
way to face up, Fanny. Like the picture would normally be like how you look at a picture of something, but if it's upside
Right.
down, then like the face is down here, like whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so usually it means like the opposite meaning or something a little different in reverse than it does upside, right side up.
And is it reverse or no?
It was.
It
yeah.
is in reverse, yeah.
But we're gonna read the book and see what it says.
Yes.
Oh.
When this card appears reversed, it suggests you're putting off making necessary changes, usually out of fear. You're stuck in old habit patterns you know need to be revised, but you don't want to put forth the effort to alter them, even though you're unhappy with the current situation.
Oh.
The way out is to face up to your stagnation, frustration, and unhappiness. Throw out the old and ring in the new.
I mean, I feel like that.
Interesting.
I don't know if that applies. Does that feel like it applies directly to you guys, or just like the film industry that we were kind of talking about before?
Yeah, because I think we're doing something very bold for both of us, and I would say our throwing out the old is being reliant on this archaic system and trying to literally do something new,
Right.
and have a metamorphosis and rebirth. So I can't say that I feel like that's necessarily true for this project. So maybe it means industry in general. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like in some readings you do get sort of a sense of a card and the meaning being more related to even a period of the past in relation to your question or the situation.
That could apply directly just to your story of what happened to you and how you kind of turned it into something more positive.
Yeah.
Right.
I do feel as though this is kind of our deck being a little bit smartassy because it's doesn't feel like you're directly answering our question.
Right.
I think it kind of is. I think
Yeah.
it kind of is.
I do also find it really interesting. This is in the Major Arcana. This is the 13th card.
Ooh.
Yesterday was Friday the 13th.
It was.
Yes. Yeah. But also, I think it's kind of true because we have to make sacrifices and stuff for this project. So I think what it says, it applies, because it's like it takes a lot of sacrifice and energy and work, and
Yeah.
so I think it fits for a situation, basically.
Yeah.
True.
That's
I
so
feel
funny too, because I wrote down 13 questions for you guys, and I had 12, and I was like, man, I need to think of one more just to like make it an even like 13.
And even 13.
Oh my god!
I
That's
love
hilarious.
you, spooky ladies.
Yeah, right.
Even 13.
Loved it.
That's like a really good name for a production company or a
Spooky
podcast.
13?
And even 13.
In even 13,
Oh.
yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Are we starting another podcast?
Let's do
This
it.
is it. No, this is the
Spin-off.
first episode of An Even 13.
Was there any more interpretations in that? Was there like the work one, or?
Well, so what I was going to say is that I feel like with the interpretation where it's saying, you know, the way out is to face up to your stagnation and kind of as it goes on there, I feel like this also can be kind of warning against maybe falling back into old habit patterns as you move forward. So,
Yeah, because actually we have to pull off like new ways to be able to make this movie, because like old habits doesn't work. We have to pull off new things. That's how
Right.
I understand this.
Yeah.
That's really true, because like that's exactly it. And it's funny because like, you know, my dream for making this kind of anti-capitalistic thing has been like burning bright. And I was talking to this girl who came to stay with me during the LA fires. Like I live like a couple hours from LA, and she was looking for a place to go just because she has like asthma and like whatever, and like the air quality
yeah.
was better here. And she actually works in film, like she works as an actress. And I was like telling her about the idea, and she was like really into it until I was like I want to create a system where like the producers aren't making so much more. And she's like, yeah, but like if you pay yourself out a lot of money, then you can like hire more people. And she was doing this very like Elon Musk like style
Yeah.
argument for like the trickle down
Right.
like economics. And I was
Right.
like, no, like this is how I stop it. Like the production company gets to pay more people a better wage because I'm paying myself less. And
Right.
like it's
Yeah.
something that like I get, it's like kind of, you know, if we had money coming in, it's more difficult to like actually abide by that and say, no, I'm gonna like pay myself a living wage, but not some excessive amount to where we can't pay the rest of our team, which is something I
yeah.
really, really believe in. Because like just reading statistics about like what CEOs and stuff used to make 20 years ago, they
gosh.
made about double what their like average
Right.
employee made. And now they make like 20, 100 times like whatever that.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh
like,
my god.
it just doesn't make any
Why?
sense. And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
like that's why we have this income disparity that we do now in the US, is because like they're
Absolutely.
keeping so much more for themselves. So like it's tempting to want to do that.
Clearly,
You know,
it's
like, I get it.
working.
Like,
Right.
right? But like somebody,
Yeah.
like people have to like stop it. Like somebody has to stop it. And I was like, I'll be
Yeah,
the person who stops
exactly.
that. Which is
Yeah.
hard. I'm a Taurus. I like luxury.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's like,
You can do
girl.
it.
Right.
We all can
right.
do it.
But I
Right.
think that, you know, the argument really to be had is not like, should we all, you know, give up all of our worldly possessions and, you know, join a monastery? It's more about like, we can all have some luxuries
yeah.
so long as nobody's bogarting like everything.
Yes.
It
exactly.
has to be a little bit more egalitarian, I think.
Yes. So long as like you
So.
don't have like a smaller yacht to follow your mega yacht, because
Right.
your mega yacht can't like transport
Yeah.
everything
Right.
that you need for your supplies
Yeah.
while on your mega yacht.
Oh
Jeff
my
Bezos.
Yes.
god.
I do think it's
Yeah.
reasonable to maybe, you know, like one yacht. Okay, guys?
One
guys.
reasonable yacht.
I think,
One.
I think the death
One-
card is
one yacht.
telling us we can only have one yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I,
Right.
for one, have made my peace with that.
Man, it's not going to be easy, but
You know, I'm willing to do my part.
But yeah, I actually think it has a positive meaning behind, to leave behind the past and a rebirth,
Yeah.
to do things differently than before, and a big
Right.
change basically.
Yeah, it was
Right.
perfect. I
I
loved
love
that.
Fanny. I love your positivity.
Yeah. See?
She was wary at first, but she's like, okay.
And it
You
was
guys brought me
death
around.
card. Like, if you can
I'm
spin the
always-
death card positive, you got this.
Yeah. Really, though. We have an interpretation book that we use. We actually have a couple of different ones that we like to refer to. The deck that I'm using, I think this one's probably my favorite. It's a Pacific Northwest tarot deck. So it's all like really plants and animals that are from the Pacific Northwest, and the illustrations are so beautiful.
So cool. For anybody that likes tarot, there will be like a tarot reference in our movie. Of course, they're in a reading room for like most of it. But also my nibbling that I mentioned earlier that went on the ghost tour with me is a very good artist, and they're designing us a custom tarot deck that will be used in the movie, and will also be, it's a perk too in our Indiegogo that you can get the custom-made tarot deck used in Vessel. And it's kind of ghosty and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the perk that we're donating to.
Yeah.
It's a really cool one.
Oh,
It
I'm
is indeed. The
Ooh.
cards are
Oh
going to
my
be amazing.
goodness. Well, okay, so when does the deck come out? Because I need to like mentally prepare myself for how long I have to wait.
So the movie's coming out projected for Halloween. We want to release around Halloween just because obvs. But the tarot deck, we'll probably be able to get that out a bit sooner. We might be able to get that out close to the time that our Indiegogo ends, which I think is like is that in July, Fanny?
Yeah, I think
maybe
in July.
It might be like a week or two after that. So like maybe like August we can get those shipped. Clay's almost done designing them. I think they're on like I think there's 72 cards in a deck. Is that right?
78.
Around there? 78. So I
Yeah,
think they're like in the 50s for designing cards. So like they're
wow.
getting there. They look amazing. They're so cute. There's some like very special ones. There's also references to like people in our lives. Like my grandma speaks to me a lot, which is why I set up an ancestor altar. I had like gotten a reading done with an oracle deck, like with a friend, and they pulled something that was like Wild Rose, and the name hadn't like meant anything to me when she first said it. I was just like, oh, Wild Rose, that sounds cute, whatever. And she's like, I think someone's like trying to talk to you through this card. Does the name Rose mean anything to you? And my grandma's middle name was Rose.
Aww.
And her name was Edith Rose, and she hated her middle name. And like it was like a joke, like in our family, everyone would always get her
Really?
roses and like whatever. And so like I think she like liked it in like a cute, like playful way. I don't think she actually hated it, but it was like always this joke. But so she like always leaves me like roses and whatever to like let me know that she's communicating with me. So there's a rose in the deck that represents my grandma, and like we have all these like cute things.
So sweet.
Yeah. If you're curious and learning more about the project, we do have our social medias, which are at Bad Witches Productions on TikTok and on Instagram. You can find our website, badwitches.com, and there's a section for Vessel there. You can find our Indiegogo also just by looking up Indiegogo and Vessel, and it'll pop up. And we so appreciate your time and attention, and we can't wait to share this movie with y'all.
I'm so
I am
excited.
so excited. I'm
It's
super
very
excited for my new tarot deck, which will make it a lot easier to wait
Yes.
for the movie.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want to say our closing line, our outro line, our tagline? What is
So professional.
We say have a creepy ass day.
Yes.
Have a creepy ass day.
Yay! That was so fun.
Amazing.
Thanks for indulging me.
It was
That was
really
way
fun.
more fun than
course.
it usually is.
Brilliant
No
idea.
offense, Cassie.
Yeah.